let's connect a Flexi Line to the left shoulder. As we've done before, we'll start by hiding our IK and FK bones. So let's start with IK. We'll just go in and grab the two IK shoulders, press Control Page down. Alright, from there we'll head over to our Display tab and choose Hide Selected. Let's take care of FK. Remember, we have a few controls parented to our FK bones, so we'll just need to select each manually. We don't want to forget about our nubs. So there's the right arm, and there is the left arm. Alright, great. We'll go ahead and choose Hide Selected. So that's a lot easier on the eyes. Let's now import in our Flexi rig. So we'll go ahead and merge that into our scene. Great. Alright, from here, we'll need to head over to Layers and rename this. So let's go ahead and show the Flexi Hidden layer. After those objects have been revealed, we'll go ahead and grab the top node, Control Page down. Let's head over to Tools and rename this. So we'll uncheck base name, we'll enable prefix, and that's going to be L shoulder underscore. Alright, so once they have all been renamed, we can now rename our Flexi layer. Now we can do that from the layer properties, but sometimes you'll have to just go in and actually update the name after you've hit OK to make sure that Max has saved this alphabetically. So just to show you this, if we were to go ahead and add the prefix L shoulder to this name and choose OK, you can see it hasn't been placed alphabetically. Now if we were to go in and correct the name from here, I'll just simply go in and add the L again, hit enter. You can see that Max has updated that layer. Alright, we'll go ahead and hide that layer now so we can go ahead and start to align the global object. So with that selected, we'll go ahead and make sure that it's centered between the shoulder and forearm. Let's grab our position constraint and we'll tie that to the shoulder first. Let's go back and now tie it to the forearm control. Alright, from there we need to work on aligning this. So let's go ahead and create a helper to do that. Alright, we'll go ahead and work with cross, and let's now Alt-A align this to our shoulder bone. We'll go ahead and align this in orientation, very important, because now we'll want to move this locally away. So let's go ahead and move this back. Alrighty. Now we can go ahead and take the global object and we'll want to point that in the y-axis towards the shoulder. So let's grab our look at constraint and select the shoulder. From there, in our motion panel underneath rotation, let's take a look at our settings. So we want to look at the y-axis, great. We also want to make sure that our up node control type is set to look at. Alright, great. From there, we can go ahead and uncheck world and make sure that we use our helper as the up node object. Remember, our source axis should be X. So when we're setting these up, we know that, alright, our helper is going to need to be behind the arm in order to hook in our Flexi rig. Alright, great. So, at this point, we'll want to grab another helper and use that to anchor the system down. So we already have one tied to one of the legs. Let's go ahead and clone one of those. We'll rename it from here, so that's going to be PTDRV L shoulder Flexi Connect Global 01. Let's go ahead and Alt-A align this to our new Flexi Line's global node. That looks good. We'll also want to link to shoulder main. Alright, great. So now we can go ahead and take our global object and we can go ahead and freeze it down. All right, from here, we're going to want to Alt-A align this to our new helper. All right, let's go ahead and start to scale down our rig. So I think about a value of maybe 52 would work in our scale. So I'll go ahead and set that to 52 and make sure that's set across. Beautiful. From there, remember we don't need this temp helper any longer. We can go ahead and remove that. We can make sure that our global node is linked to the global control. So we'll take care of that now. And now we can freeze its transforms. All right, great. So what do we need to do at this point? We need to apply a few constraints to finish up. We need to take our global object and make sure its position and orientation constraint to our helper. And then we'll need to apply position constraints to tie down our connect curves. So remember, we're tying down to our main bone objects. So for the connect curve here at the shoulder, that will get position constraint to shoulder main. For our connect curve tied to the forearm, well, that gets position constraint to our forearm. All right, so once these have been connected in, we're ready to stop the lesson, and then the following lesson, we'll go ahead and set up our twist rig.